gonna be a different year. This is not the place for fear. I've got a job to do.
Well, hello, boys and girls. This is now the third time that I am trying to make this video for you. Unfortunately, the first recording didn't work. There was some camera problems. Unfortunately, the second recording didn't work. There was some smartboard problems. And so now it's the very end of the day, but I'm still working very hard to get you guys at least the reading and to cover what we talked about in class today. So keep your fingers crossed that it works now the third time. Today in class, we discussed Chapter 8, and we went on and we read Chapter 9. The other thing that we did was we reviewed our reading strategy of questioning. So tonight, the students needed to finish reading Chapter 9, and they needed to make sure that they completed their Chapter 9 quiz online. And it's really important, ladies and gentlemen, that the students, you guys need to, when the questions asked you to answer in a short paragraph, you need to answer in a short paragraph. If I look at your answer and there's one sentence there, you're not getting credit for that answer. When the question asks for you to write a short paragraph, you need to do that. It needs to be multiple sentences, all right? And you need to show me your best writing, all right? Because right now, people are still not even taking the time to put a capital or a period, and that shows a lack of effort. And that's the straight truth of it. If you're not putting capitals, if you are not bothering to put punctuation on your sentences, at this point right now, you are choosing to be lazy. And if you're going to choose that for your own education, then I don't see that I even need to read that answer. All right, I can see that it's not a paragraph. You haven't earned those points. I want to see that you guys are trying. It takes your teachers a very long time to go through and to look at all of your writing. And it's very unfortunate right now that many students are not even taking the time to put the effort into it. Some people are simply skipping the short written responses and they're not even trying. Or they are answering in a way that's not even one sentence. It might be 2 or 3 words. So, ladies and gentlemen, here is your message. You need to write in complete sentences and complete paragraphs when it is asked. Anything less is going to be scored as such, and it's not going to be considered acceptable. Not in 6th grade. All right? So, there is your message for me regarding that on the quiz. And I think that if people start doing that, you're going to see scores go up a lot. Because right now, most of the points people are missing is because of 2 reasons. The main one is they're not taking the time to create a good written response. And then the other reason, which is very clear, is the students aren't doing the reading. I know that when you get a score of 2 out of 10, you have guessed. You have guessed at your answers. You didn't take the time to do the reading. Because these are all level 1 questions. These are all questions that are right in the book. And so these are details that can very easily be found. These are short chapters. The chapters are only 4 to 5 pages long. So when people are getting 8 multiple choice questions on a quiz and you're getting 1 or 2 questions right, that tells me you haven't done the reading. You're getting scores of 10% and 20%. And some people are going to be in for wide awakening when they get those scores and they see where they are at because they've chosen not to really put in the effort. All right. So, and what you're seeing here is a 3rd attempt from your teacher trying to make a video and make a high quality lesson, despite already having a 40-minute recording ready for you guys that somehow disappeared, despite spending time recording a 2nd video lesson where the smartboard malfunctioned, and I ended up losing that as well. And yet here your teachers are. Every one of us is in our rooms right now working very hard to give you guys the best education possible. And you need to take some responsibility, and you yourselves as well need to work hard. With that said, we picked up today at Chapter 9. At the end of Chapter 8, our main character, Max, is being treated like a hero for the events that happened on the 4th of July. We see these 2 characters and their friendship is really starting to grow, and they're starting to develop trust. as these guys are just going out. It's summertime. They're going out on quests together. And that's where we start chapter 9. Chapter 9, we pick up in the middle of the summertime, these guys with their normal routines. So I'm going to open up. I'm going to read this chapter to you guys, and then it will be your job to take the quiz and make sure that you have answered all of the questions to the best of your ability, and make sure that you've answered the short written response questions with full sentences and paragraphs when needed. Chapter 9, Life is Dangerous. So out we go. It's a habit by now. Freak riding up high on my shoulders and using his little feet to steer me if I forget where we're going. Not that we always know. Freak likes to make things up as he goes along. You think you're just walking down this ordinary sidewalk, and really you're crossing this dangerous bridge, the kind made of vines that hangs high up in the air over a deep canyon. And when Freak makes it up, it seems so real. You're afraid to look down or you'll get dizzy and fall off the sidewalk. Don't ever look down, he says. Just keep your eyes closed. And then he puts his hands over my eyes and tells me to keep walking. 1 foot, he says. Now the next. I'm fighting to keep my balance, and his hands are making me dizzy. 1 more step, Freak says. Steady, steady. Now lift up your your foot. Then, there we made it. And he takes his hands away, and I see that we've crossed the street. Go east, he says. When I get to the end of the block, that way, mighty steed, yonder lies the east. I go, how do you know which way is east? And then something is glinting in my eye, and Freak is showing me this little compass. The official Cub Scout compass? That's a clever disguise, so you don't know how valuable it is, he says. This is actually a rare and valuable artifact, passed down for generations. Lancelot used it. So did Sir Gawain. And for a time, the Black Knight kept it on a chain next to his heart. I go, so the Black Knight was a Cub Scout, huh? And Freak laughs and says, that way, we go to the east on a secret mission. We walk for miles, way beyond the pond and playground and the school. And for a while, we're going through this really ritzy neighborhood of big white houses and blue swimming pools. Freak keeps saying stuff like, that's the Castle of Avarice, and yonder lies the bloated moat. And when we go under trees, he'll say, proceed with caution, or all clear, depending on how low the branches come down. We must be east, I say. Have we got to yonder yet? Because my stupid feet are getting sore. But Freak pats me on the head and says, yonder always lies over the next horizon. You could look it up if you don't believe me. Oh, I believe you. On and on, block after block, through all of these neighborhoods that Freak says are really secret kingdoms. I'll bet we've gone 10 miles at least, because my legs thinks it's 100. And even as light as Freak is, he's starting to feel heavy. We're almost there, he says. Turn at the end of the block. Where is it we're going? You'll see, he says, and you will be amazed. There's this busy intersection, cars whizzing by, and it all seems sort of familiar. Can we stop for a Coke, I say? Grim gave me $1. Big deal, but we can split it. Freak goes, the net shall be your reward, my faithful steed. Tinted sucrose and bubbles of air. Onward, onward to the fortress. It turns out the fortress looks like part of a hospital, which it is. The regular hospital is around in front, and there's this new building added on out back. Medical research, it says over the door. And I know because I made Freak spell it out. Does that mean they do experiments and stuff? Freak says, indeed they do. Well, what kind of experiments, I ask. Can you keep a secret, he says. Do you swear on your honor? Sure, on my honor. Freak is really excited. He's shifting around on my shoulders so much that I'm afraid he's going to fall off. That's not good enough, he says. You need to swear by blood. You mean like cut myself? Well, no, he says. And you can tell he's thinking about it real hard. An actual incision is not necessary. It's the same thing if you just spit on your hand. Huh? Saliva is like blood without the red, he says. Do as I say. Spit in your hand. So I spit in my hand. Just a little drop, but Freak says it doesn't matter how much. A single molecule would work because it's the principle of the thing. Now, put your hand over your heart, he says. I put my hand over my heart. Now, swear on your heart that the data you are about to receive will be divulged to no one. I swear. Freak bends down, and he gets his hand cupped around my ear, and he's whispering. Inside the research building is a secret laboratory called the Experimental Bionics Unit. The unit's mission is to develop a new form of bionic robot for human modification. What's that? I say. Shh. Speak of this to no one. But at some future time, as yet undetermined, I will enter that lab and become the first bionically improvised human. I still don't know what it means, I say. Bionics. And please, don't make me look it up in the dictionary. Bionics, Freak says. That's the science of designing replacement parts for the human body. You mean like mechanical arms and legs? Oh, that's ancient history, Freak says. The Bionics unit is building a whole new body just my size. Yeah? What'll it look like? A robot? A human robot, Freak says. Also, it'll look a lot like me, only enlarged and improved. Yeah, right, I say. Let's go home. My feet are tired. Freak tugs hard at my hair. True, he says, with his voice getting high and excited. I've been in there, in the special unit. I have to go every few months for tests. They've taken my measurements, analyzed my blood and metabolic rates. They've monitored my cardiac rhythms and my respiratory functions. I've already been x-rayed and CAT scanned and sonogrammed. They're fitting me for a bionic transplant. I'm going to be the first. I can tell he really means it. This isn't a pretend quest, or making houses into castles, or swimming pools into moats. This is why we came here, so Freak could show me where he's been. The place is important to him. I understand this much, even if I still don't understand about bionics or what it means to be a human robot. Will it hurt? I ask, getting your parts replaced. Freak doesn't answer for a while, and then he says in his stern, smart voice, Sure, it'll hurt. But so what? Pain is just a state of mind. You can think your way out of anything, even pain. I'm pretty worried about the whole deal, and I go, but why do you want to be the first? Can't someone else be first? Isn't it dangerous? Life is dangerous, Freak says. And you can tell he's thought a lot about this. After a while, he kicks me with his little feet, and he says, Home! And that's where Chapter 9 ends. So we see in Chapter 9 here, this is not just a regular quest for these guys. For Kevin, this was a quest to show Max where he's been. He divulges a very large secret about himself in this chapter. Now, we're going to talk tomorrow about the end of this chapter. We're going to be talking about the secret that Kevin revealed in Max's response. Please make sure that you do your quiz, okay? You guys, go ahead, be responsible, all right? Take the quiz. I believe that every single one of you can do it. It's an adjustment, I know, all right? But if you guys try, if you guys work hard, I guarantee you we're going to be able to make lots of growth in your writing, okay? Though, guys, I need to see you guys writing down. I need to see you guys try. Show me that you guys can write sentences, write paragraphs. And then you and I and the rest of the 6th graders, we can work together to improve our writing. Unfortunately, it's a very hard thing for us to do right now because I'm getting so little from you guys with your writing. All right? The last thing that you guys need to do is make sure that you guys post your question to KidBlog. Okay? Don't forget that that is an important part of the question. That way, I'm no longer asking the questions. You guys are asking the questions. And we're now talking about the things that you guys find important and the things that you guys are paying attention to in the reading. So with that said, guys, have a great night. I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday, and I'm looking forward to reading chapter 10 with you then. So have a great night, guys. Bye.